So right now, everyone is waiting for that April 2nd Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, as this is going to be the full unveiling of Nintendo's next generation system, and it's really going to answer all of the big questions that we have right now, like when is this system coming out, how much is it going to cost, what games are going to be on it, and it's going to be a very exciting time. But as we get closer to it, to make the wait a little bit easier, I'm going to try to make some more of these Nintendo Switch 2 videos and try to release them every few days so that you have something to watch in terms of the Nintendo Switch 2 and get a little excited over it as we get closer to it, and hopefully that Direct will come a little bit sooner. And so today I want to talk to you guys about an aspect with the Nintendo Switch 2 that's actually going to be really amazing alongside two other systems that are really going to be helping it in terms of kind of like saving the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's really just going to be amazing for it. Now, the two systems that I'm talking about are the Xbox Series S and the Steam Deck. And I know this video is called like how these two systems are saving the Nintendo Switch 2, or how the Switch 2 is going to be saved by these two systems or something, and I just want to make it clear right away that when I say the word saved, I'm not talking about sales, because you don't have to be a genius to know that the Nintendo Switch 2 is easily going to outsell the Xbox Series S and the Steam Deck combined just from Nintendo's amazing exclusives. Like, it's most likely launching with a brand new Mario Kart game, but the second we get like a brand new 3D Mario game on it, a new Pokemon generation, a new Animal Crossing, a new Smash Bros, a new Splatoon, like the Switch 2s are going to be flying off of the store shelves, so Nintendo definitely does not need the help of an Xbox Series S and a Steam Deck or anything like that with kind of having their systems be sold, and that's not really what I'm talking about in this video either. And if anything, the Switch 2 is going to be helping out all of these systems, and what I'm really referring to is the support. Looking at the leak specs and clock speeds and all that other technical stuff, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a massive leap of performance coming from the current Nintendo Switch that we all have right now. And this is going to allow for a lot of games that you wouldn't expect to come to a Nintendo system to finally get the ability to do so. In fact, there's already 28 games that are heavily rumored to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, and so if you're interested in learning about all of those games, I already made an entire video going over every single one of them, so there should be a little eye up in the corner right now if you want to go ahead and click or tap on that to go and check out that video, but I'll also have it in the outro of this video if you want to go and watch it after you're done watching this one. And so the rumored games inside of that video are really going to give you a look at what's going to be possible now on this next generation Nintendo system. And for people who aren't really into like the super technical details and all of that, just getting a broad comparison to exactly how powerful the system is going to be, in handheld mode, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be very similar to the performance of a PlayStation 4. And then once you dock it into the dock for the system and get better wattage and performance and stuff, it is going to be close to the performance of a PlayStation 4 Pro. And just the entirety of the Nintendo Switch 2 in general in docked mode is also not going to be super far away from the current gen with the Xbox Series S specifically. And when it comes to the Steam Deck, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be more powerful than the Steam Deck as well, which makes sense because having a system released in 2025 and not being more powerful than the tablet released in 2021 would be pretty concerning. So yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 is definitely going to be more powerful than the Steam Deck as well. And so really what this means now is that any game that's able to come to the Steam Deck should also be able to run on the Nintendo Switch 2 without any issues. And when it comes to the Xbox Series S, yeah, in terms of raw numbers and performance, the Xbox Series S is still more powerful than the Nintendo Switch 2. But it's also not light years away from the Nintendo Switch 2 either. The Xbox Series S is not so much more powerful than the Nintendo Switch 2 that it's in a league of its own that's going to be so powerful that there's no way for these two systems to be close to each other at all. And because of that, it also means now that if a game is able to come to the Xbox Series S, you are going to have to do some optimizing and tweaking and stuff still, but it should also not be super impossible to get a game from that system to run on the Nintendo Switch 2. And so now you can probably get the idea of how these two systems are going to be saving the Nintendo Switch 2, but really also how it works vice versa, because the Nintendo Switch 2 existing is also going to help both of these systems get more games as well, and it really kind of creates an entire brand new market now with these three systems that are all going to be kind of similar to each other, and that's going to be the biggest thing that's really going to help out all of these systems. See, nowadays, there's so many places where you can play video games compared to what it used to be in the past, where it was just whatever console you had, that was the one that you could play video games on. But then eventually with like Steam starting to get games on there and everything, we had computers and PC gaming start to get the rise as well. And then we started to get like the Steam Deck and all of these types of tablet systems coming out and stuff too. And now you have so many options for how you want to play games. And so if you are a big publisher and a big developer releasing a multi-platform game, you really now want to keep that in mind as well, knowing that there's so many different audiences and places where these games can be played. And it's because of that you really have to make sure that your game is one specific word, and what I'm talking about is scalable. Pretty much any new multi-platform game that's coming out nowadays needs to be scalable so that the game can be scaled and be brought to any type of platform that the person wishes to play it on. And so really, it's pretty much an entire spectrum now, where over here on the low end, we're gonna have systems that aren't gonna be super powerful, but we have stuff like the Nintendo Switch 2, the Steam Deck, and the Xbox Series S. In the middle here is really where you're gonna have your flagship consoles like the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, and I guess moving it a little bit higher would be where the PlayStation 5 Pro goes because it is slightly more powerful than the base PlayStation 5, but this is pretty much where you're gonna be getting like the best and most standard experience for being able to play these games on a console. You're gonna be getting high frame rates, you're gonna be getting good visuals, and it's just gonna be a very solid experience to play it on these systems. And then at the other end of the spectrum here is where you're gonna get the PC, as this is where you're gonna get the absolute extreme top of the line performance that you can't get anywhere else. You're gonna have the uncapped frame rates and being able to play the games in 240 FPS and having the 4K visuals without the upscaling and all of that. Like if you want the best of the best performance, that is where you can get it. And so if you are a multi-platform video game publisher now who wants to bring their game to as many systems as possible, you really do want to make a game as scalable as you can so that you can downscale the game and bring it to some of these lower end systems so that you can still have it be in like the mid-range and bring it to like the PS5 and also have it be maxed out to bring like the best possible capabilities on some high-end PCs. And so really the point of this now is that this end of the spectrum here, where it counts the Xbox Series S and the Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch 2, is going to make up of millions and millions of people that if you are releasing a multi-platform game, you're not going to want to miss out on this market here, as there is going to be so many people who are going to be willing to buy your game. And if you do have a scalable game that can be scaled down and brought to like a Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Xbox Series S, it is really going to be great for everyone, as they're all going to be able to experience the game. And so you can really see now this is the best possible timeline, because if a lot of these new releases now are going to be scalable and coming to all sorts of these different platforms, you're really going to have a lot of these games now also coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, and that's just going to be incredible. Even the quote-unquote impossible game that I've talked about before, Grand Theft Auto 6, has already been officially confirmed to be coming to the Xbox Series S. And that's what I mean, the Xbox Series S is going to be able to get this game, and like I said, the Nintendo Switch 2 is not going to be light years away from that system, and obviously it's going to be a challenge even to get that game to run on the Xbox Series S, but if it is possible, and if they can also bring that to the Steam Deck and stuff, I feel like it might actually be possible to get this game on the Nintendo Switch 2, and at that point, if you can get GTA 6 to come to the Nintendo Switch 2, there's literally going to be no more excuses for any type of third-party game to not come to the Switch 2, because you'll just be able to say, man, if GTA 6 is able to run on this system, how in the world is your game not able to? So it would honestly be insane if we get that timeline. But I think I've yapped enough. I think you guys get the idea of how these two systems are really going to be helping out the Nintendo Switch 2, and the Nintendo Switch 2 itself is also just going to be creating like this market now for this low end of the spectrum where people are still going to want to play a lot of these games. And so because of that, a lot of these video game publishers and multi-platform games are really going to need to think about making their games scalable so that they can also come to these systems as well. And so yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Does this excite you as well for getting a lot of these types of games to potentially come to the Nintendo Switch 2? How do you feel about everything? Be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about it, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.